governments for not giving them adequate resources.
And that is not just this government, subsequent governments. But who is the beneficiary if people turn out to vote and vote right? Is it not the parties or the contestants? They are supposed to also do the education.
Imagine
and for that, I would commend the NDC at least that the flag bearer John Dramani Mahama on all his campaign platforms, especially after he was placed number 2 on the ballot, had a dummy ballot behind him and showed the people. So that was part of the education.
That's not enough, Martin. That's
I know,
enough.
but I'm saying
Martin,
that when you are doing your door-to-door, you need them to vote for you.
I don't think we want to make this
yeah, but it's not of the education process.
The question is, did they, as they were campaigning, did they even educate them on the reason why
they did? They did, yes. We have lots of images. We have lots of images where they showed them.
You're right on this about the political parties also educating.
Yeah.
But they don't have to take the primary responsibility. They are only complementing
and it's our because then
it's not at the end. Then why do we have the NCCE?
We do know.
Anyway,
but then
anyway, that's a position we can share. But that's William EVANS-NKUM is joining us from the Ashanti region now, and with some results from the Ashanti constituency. It's a place that he has spent the last 3-4 months studying the dynamics of this party going into this election. And William, it's good to have you. Good evening to you. I think it's evening now. And despite the issues that characterize the counting process, we understand certified results coming in from Ashanti now?
Absolutely. A certified result coming in from the Ashanti constituency at the moment. And one would say it is a total annihilation against the MCE, who in 2016 or as of 2016 was trailing with just 5,605 votes. But now he has, the gap has been widened, or the margin has been widened to about 20,000 votes. And even in 2016, when His Excellency the President of the Republic had even won by a margin of votes, this time around the President also trailing with some significant figures as far as Ashanti constituency is concerned. But let me just give you the presidential result, which has trickled in from the Ashanti constituency. So the NPP, which is being led by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, garnered 35,240 votes. The NDC had 47,416 votes. And that is the irony of it, because in 2016, as I said earlier, the NPP's Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for the first time since the creation of the Ashanti constituency in 2004, led John Dramani Mahama, even though it was slim, but it was significant achievement for the NPP, even though the parliamentary candidate lost. But that was also a gap closed. But this time around, it has been widened. If the results that have trickled in and the performance of the NPP is anything to go by, then we are talking about the Achoma-Kwanwoma constituency. And I am not surprised, because the man in that particular constituency, Kofi Amankwa-Menu, who is in charge of impact assessment at the at the office of the president, said he will ensure that he gives the president some maximum vote. And I can tell you that he has appreciated the gains of the president. They started from the registration exercise when he gave himself a target of over 100,000, and also giving the president some 90%. I can tell you that from about 42,000 in 2016, he was able to shoot the president up to about 77,000. And let me just run you through what happened in the Achoma-Kwanwoma constituency. So the NPP had 77,828, and this is the presidential results. The NDC had 14,999. It is instructive to also know that anytime the NPP appreciates, the NDC also appreciates. And it is even started from the Bantama constituency, which is the political powerhouse of the NPP, or call it Florida. Now, this is the result, the presidential result from the Bantama constituency. The NPP had 57,360, and this is an improvement of 2016 when they were hovering around 51,000 during that particular election. The NDC from 7,000 or 6,000, I suppose, is now running away with some 8,954 votes, and it means a lot to the opposition party. One particular constituency in 2016 that gave the ruling New Patriotic Party 90% was the Kwadaso constituency. In fact, apart from Kwabre East constituency, which of course holds the largest, electoral area as far as politics is concerned, with about 280 polling stations. That is the largest. Apart from the Kwabre East constituency, it is the Kwadaso constituency that has been given the MPP major votes. Now, here's what happened. Kwadaso gave the MPP in this particular election 61,908, which was an improvement because in 2016 it gave the president from 57,000, 60,000. My guess is right. The NDC also appreciated their gains, and this time around they were able to secure 8,961 from the Kwadaso constituency. Now, if we come to the Efija Sector East constituency, the MPP, this presidential, the MPP had 42,989 votes. The NDC had 11,321. I am not mentioning the other political parties because apart from GUM, that is making some level of showing on the as far as performance is concerned, the other vote garnered from the other political parties are not so significant. So that is why I'm not mentioning. But of course, since 1992, the battle has always been between the MPP and the NDC. So I think viewers will understand us in that direction. Now, Ashanti Achim North constituency, if you are talking about Ashanti Achim North constituency, and then we are talking about Agogo. I mean, you're talking about the Fulani and the herdsmen and the conflict happening between the indigents and then the Fulani herdsmen because of destruction of their farmlands and all of that is a major issue as far as that particular enclave is concerned. And it is also a powerhouse, a political powerhouse for the ruling New Patriotic Party. Now, this is what happened in the just ended polls. NPP had 27,155 votes. NDC had 11,521. For the NDC, they have been making a lot of showings. I mean, as far as that particular constituency is concerned, so their performance hasn't been abysmal compared to constituencies like Kwadaso, Bantama, and the likes. Even there, they are still growing, I mean, marginally, and that is significant for the party. Subin constituency, the almighty Subin. So if you're talking about Subin constituency and you're talking about a constituency that before the election, a case will have to be brought from court, or if you like, the MPP will have to enter into an alternative dispute resolution because some aggrieved members of the party have sent the MP to court or held the MP in the dock of court because of primary issues. I mean, the June's primary issue and all of that, but that matter was settled. And this is what has happened after that. I mean, talking about just ended polls. So, Subin constituency, MPP had 43,051 votes. The NDC had 14,590 votes. He grew, but it wasn't so significant as far as the two political parties are concerned. For Ano North constituency, I think, okay, so I haven't mentioned Ano North constituency. Now, for Ano North constituency, these are the results of the presidential elections. MPP had 22,916 votes. NDC 18,903 votes. New Edubiase constituency. Well, this is the constituency that the NPP ruled in 2016. Of course, the current deputy minister of Agric, George Udro, has been asked as the member of parliament. So next parliament, we are not going to see George Udro because NDC has reclaimed that particular seat, and their performance wasn't only showing on the parliamentary, but they also performed well as far as the presidential election is concerned. So one would say table stand. So in the new Edubiasi constituency, NPP had 17,713 votes. The NDC had 19,457 votes. In Suta Kwaman Biposo constituency, now the NPP, and if you're talking about this constituency, so the board chairman of GOIL, that is his constituency, the former Attorney General under the as well Kufuor's administration, Honorable Prempeh, that is his constituency as well. He's also one of the political powerhouse of the ruling New Patriotic Party, and these are what they have for the NPP and NDC. So NPP had 22,043 votes. The NDC had 10,306 votes. Then to the Mampong constituency, and I'm sure it's ringing a bell because in the Mampong constituency, during the June primaries, a lot of clashes happened between the former, member of parliament for that particular constituency was one time a contender for the presidential flag bearership as far as the New Patriotic Party is concerned, but failed. And so this is what happened in the Mampong constituency. NPP had 39,565 votes. The NDC had 12,380 votes. Then to Achoma Nwabioja South constituency, the NDC had 13,827. Sorry, the MPP had 58,109 votes. The NDC had 13,827 votes. And I just want to mention that again for emphasis. The NPP in the Achoma Nwabioja South constituency had 58,109 votes. The NDC had 13,827 votes. Edra Seche Dumase. So, this particular constituency has some interesting twists and turns because Bamba, people thought he was going to execute some level of poetic justice because when he was the member of parliament in the Edra constituency, that was in 2012, in 2016, the current member of parliament, Brahma, won that particular constituency or snatched that particular seat from him. And Brahma was coming in as an MC for the Edra Seche Dumase constituency. The table turned beautifully. Bawa, who was once the member of parliament for Edra Seche Dumase constituency, was contesting his, one would say, long-time foe, Brahma, who is now the incumbent member of parliament. But this time around, he couldn't win. So the NPP had 25,079 votes. The NDC appreciated its gains to 30,254 votes. Then Asokwa constituency, and that is the constituency of the Deputy Minister for Science, Technology and Innovation, the former mayor of Kumasi, Madam Patricia P.J. And she gave her party, the NPP, 56,909 votes, NDC 13,342 votes. Some political pundits have the belief that probably, had it not been the emergence of the independent candidates and all of that, probably the NPP could have won by even a bigger margin. But, well, that is politics for you because of these internal wrangling and all of that. But nonetheless, they were able to also appreciate again the margin is not too bad as far as the Asokwa constituency is concerned. So, Martin, this is what I have for you from the Ashanti region.
Right. Okay. That's William EVANS-NKUM there in the Ashanti region. William, stay with me a bit because we want to have you run through the Bantama constituency. We didn't capture the full complement of the results there. The Bantama constituency, this is where a deputy chief of staff is also, that's Asenso Boachi, is contesting there as an MPP candidate. What happened there in the Bantama constituency?
So, Bantama constituency, the constituency known or christened as the Florida, as far as the ruling New Patriotic Party is concerned, had 57,000 360 votes. That was the vote for the NPP. 57,360 votes for the NPP.
And this is it presidential or parliamentary?
This is presidential. This is presidential. This is presidential. And the NDC had 8,954 votes.
I see. But you don't have that one for the parliamentary as yet?
Well, I'm going to get that one for you.
Fantastic. That'd be great. And I appreciate it. It's interesting what we are seeing, especially in the new Dubiase constituency, where the NDC has claimed back that constituency. It's flipped to the NDC, winning that new Dubiase constituency back. And here's what is the deputy agric minister lost that seat, some 19,457 for the NDC, as against 17,713 for the NPP. I mean, defeating an incumbent and a minister certainly is not an easy feat for the NDC candidate in the new Dubiase constituency.
Yep. Certainly also be going back to the Ashanti region to speak to William Evans-NKUM subsequently to tell us what kind of impact the 22 independent candidates that were drafted out or decided to leave or break away from the NPP. What kind of impact has that had on the total number of seats the NPP sought to win? There was the Agenda 47. It looks as if it was revised to Agenda 46, and subsequently with some of these numbers we are getting, it looks as if they may not have achieved that fully. But as to how many they won, how many they lost, how many the NDC got in the stronghold of the NPP, we'll definitely be looking at those numbers shortly when we go back to William Evans-NKUM. He's still with us. Evans, stay with us. Let's come to your region and take this particular story that has to do with the Member of Parliament for Asawase, Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak. He told us that he had won by quite a huge margin. He retained the seat with a landslide victory. These are some pictures and videos and discussions that went on during that particular declaration and the process.
Alfi Seydou had 31,256 votes. Mohammed Mubarak Muntaka had 51,659 votes. Total valid ballots, 82,915. Total rejected, 632. Total vote cast, 83,547. With this, on behalf of the returning officer, the chairperson, we now declare Mohammed Mubarak Muntaka as candidate-elect as Asawase MP.
Always said it was not possible. I've always said it because I didn't see what they've done. And for anybody who knew my constituency, you don't need to be told how it has changed over the 16 years. Yes, I'm not an angel. I have my strength and I have my weakness. But I believe my strength far outweighs my weakness. And I believe the people of Asawase really, really appreciate the effort they have been making, whether it's in Parliament, whether it's in the constituency. So I knew from the word go that it was just a cacophony of some noise, but not because they were really bent on really taking it, especially lawfully taking it. We also saw the attempt they made. I mean, from the registration, trying to bus people in, we were fighting it, and all the headache. I believe God had been on our side. We were able to be victorious today, and we can only thank God for all His mercy and thank the people of Asawase for this massive show of support. I mean, I least expected it. I knew I was going to win, but I didn't expect that out of 15 electoral areas, I was going to win 13 of the electoral areas, including NKUM, which is one of the MPP strongest, and Asebe, which is also MPP stronghold, and Asawase in particular, which is also MPP stronghold. Winning these 3 additional polling station electoral areas is very, very significant for me because it tells me that the constituency is unanimous in supporting me to continue the good work that I'm doing, and I'm forever grateful.
And that is a truly elated Muntaka Mubarak Mohammed, who has retained the Asawase seat by quite a huge number, and was said that although he knew he was going to win, he didn't expect the numbers that turned out to vote for him. It is one of the constituencies sat comfortably in the stronghold of the NPP. William EVANS-NKUM is still with us. He is our Ashanti Regional correspondent. William, walk us through how many constituencies you have now regarding the Ashanti region. How many has the party, the NPP, won? How many has the NDC won? And the independent candidates that broke away, how many, can you tell us, were able to, succeed in this journey that they embarked on?
Well, so it is very simple. The constituency of the Ashanti region has a total of 47 constituencies. The NDC now have 4 of these constituencies. So we are talking about they now control Niwe-Dubiase, they now control Edrase-Dumase, they control the Trafram Plains, which is Drobonso, and of course they control Asawase constituency. Before this particular election, they had only 3 without the Niwe-Dubiase, but now they have the Niwe-Dubiase. So you can say that since 1992, their traditional constituencies, or the traditional constituencies that they have held or they have controlled, they now have all of them back. Now, Formina constituency, I've told you that Formina has now, one would say, the Formina has made an history. It was the only constituency within my triangular constituencies that was yet to make a history, because I told you that in 2008, the Kwai constituency voted for an independent candidate. At the same time, Bosome Frango constituency was also voting for an independent candidate in the shape of Ofori Kuragu. Now, Ofori Kuragu had won the primaries as an independent candidate after he's splintered from his party, the NPP, because in 2004 he was a member of parliament for Bosome Frango constituency on the ticket of the NPP, but in 2008, 4 years after, he lost at the primaries, but decided to go solo because he thought that he had a very strong, political base as far as the Bosome Frango constituency is concerned. True to his words, he won, just like lawyer Andrew Esiama has won for the Formina constituency as an independent candidate. So now the triangular constituencies, Bekwai has had or has produced an independent candidate who still is the member of parliament, even though he's gone back to his mother party, the NPP. Of course, lawyer Esiama is going back to his mother party. I can tell you without a shred of doubt, because even his last interview with Benjamin Edu, he told Benjamin that, look, I am going back to parliament to shake the hands of the Speaker of Parliament and tell him I am back. And one will say that thing has come back, because 2021, Siama is going to Parliament, not on a ticket of the NPP, but on a ticket as an independent candidate. But he is going to join the NPP in taking decisions or in voting for bills and what have you. So that is it. So now, the triangular constituencies, Bosome Frango, which is up there, now has produced an independent candidate. Formina down there has produced an independent candidate, and Bekwai has also produced an independent candidate. Now, in your preamble, you made mention of you sought to know as to whether this whole thing might have affected the gains of the party. It is natural. The theory of politics, and I know political communication, which all the people said, Bella, you yourself, and Alfred understand, will tell you that if your base will be weakened, internal wranglings can contribute significantly to that weakening of the base. And Asokwa constituency, MPP could have performed better had it not been the fact that a certain Eric, who was the former constituency organizer, aggrieved, went or contested as an independent candidate against a woman. He really fought for politically, to ensure that she becomes the next member of parliament for Asawase constituency after Masoe Kofi Juma, who is now the chief executive of Jehok.
Okay.
Now you go to Bosom, the Bekwai constituency, even though lawyer Akwesi Ajima Ambofa lost, but you cannot I mean, you cannot gloss over the votes that he also took away from his party, the NPP. Now, if you can't go to a place like Formina constituency, of course, Esiama won with a little over 12,000 votes against Kofa, Philip of Asante having 10,000 votes. Assuming there wasn't any political internal wrangling, and Esiama's vote had also been added up to the president, the dynamics would have, the narrative would have been different.
Okay, William, I would certainly be, chit-chatting with you some more because we have some other stories regarding the Ashanti region. This time around, some NPP members...
Not tentacles as to what the announcement will be, even though there are information trickling in that NPP has majority in parliament, and I think that gives the people some level of hope that, I mean, in the history of our politics, once you control parliament, then you are assured of also getting the presidency. So I think that glimmer of hope is something that they are actually laying on to, looking forward to that bigger announcement. But I can tell you that the mood in the Ashanti region is very, very calm compared to 2016. I mean, the entire region was buzzing, but it is very, very calm at the moment.
Right. Thank you so much for your time. As always, William EVANS-NKUM, currently monitoring developments in the Ashanti region for us as our commander there with the rest of the team in the Ashanti region. This is your Election Command Center. And what we are doing now is to bring you at least some finality in major constituencies around the country and how the Electoral Commission is giving out the final figures. Some constituencies have had to be recounted, so it is changing how the numbers are looking like for either party, specifically the NDC and the NPP, in many, many constituencies across the country. What we also do know is that some parties have won some regions. The entire region has been won by one particular party. Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission, we're told, will be addressing the media shortly. That's why our colleague Bella Mundi has had to go there. She and the rest of the team will be bringing us the latest regarding what the EC will say, that presser which we are going to be bringing to you live on your Election Command Center. It's very likely the EC will be talking about the developments post-election, and then also how, they will also be addressing some of the skirmishes and the fallouts from the elections in some constituencies. Fortunately, we recorded fewer than expected, or fewer than